red portions, that is a huge indicator. Okay, light, this is what I need to edit with my personal information, right? So you would put your name where it says your name, your address where your address is, date of birth has to be your full date of birth. Okay, your social is your complete social, it's not the last four. All right, put the date that you're going to mail it. The section below that is the credit bureau's information, which is found in module 4. And then the red section in the column 1 section is going to be the name of the creditor, which means this is not for the original creditor. I get this a lot in the credit support group chats. This is the collection item, or say, for example, if it's a student loan and it's current, of course, it would be the name of, you know, whatever, Sally Mae or whatever student loan that is. But typically it is a collection or charge off, so it'd be the name of the company that bought that item. Okay. And then the column 2 for the account number, you're just going to put, copy and paste it. If you have it saved on your laptop or whatever, or you just type it in, it's really simple. It's typically 4 or 5 digits, and then there's X's or asterisks behind it. I normally put X's just because it's more uniformal. So do whatever you want. You can put the asterisks or the X's. I personally do the X's. And then if you go to the left bottom corner, you can actually, there's this little thing that pops up. It's a circle with a plus inside of it so that you can add. So if you have up to 20 items, you can add more lines, okay? So that means, like Javier is showing you, you don't have to just, you're not limited to just 6, lines. You can do up to 20 at a time on every single credit dispute letter. Okay. Now, column 2, I get this a lot as well. What do I do with the unverified account? You leave it alone. Okay. It's not red, so it stays, right? Now, if you add the columns like Javier just did, of course, you're going to have to enter unverified account in those sections. You can copy and paste it. Guys, you can do this on your phone. I am not a tech savvy person by no means. Javier can vouch for that. But it is super simple. I mean, I was watching these video modules with my 7-year-old at the time, and she understood it. Okay, so I don't want to hear any excuses. Oh, I don't understand this. Well, ask your questions. Watch 1 to 8. Write your questions down. Okay, and then if your questions aren't answered, then ask them in the group chats. That's why they're there. Okay.
Hey, Bonnie. So I have a question. This is something that always gets asked, and I feel like we have to, say something about this on this training. Just to confirm, you can add everything on this letter, up to 20 items, right? A mixture of medical bills, student loans, collections, right. All of it on this letter, right?
Right. That was my next thing. So as Javier mentioned, you can do collections, charge-offs, closed accounts, bankruptcies, foreclosures, anything that is negatively impacting your credit, you can put on this letter, okay? Now, if it's a hard inquiry, you would use a hard inquiry letter, which is found on module 4 as well.
Awesome. And before we move any lower, I just want to reiterate, up here above, if we can come up here above again, you guys, like Bonnie was saying earlier, this is like this specific part right here, right, where it says credit bureau. this information, right, gets adjusted 3 times because you have to send this letter to Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, right? So on this same letter, all you would do is you would just change this information, you know, the name, address, all that stuff, print it, and then go back and then change it again to Experience information, address, etc. Print it, and then do it a 3rd time for the, because each credit bureau has a different address, right? There is 3. So you have this information within the My Credit system again. So if you're probably wondering, how do I get the addresses? It's all in the My Credit.
Okay, jana kumai jelong lari kana tai bukai credit bureau kan prajuba credit bureau Equifax, TransUnion ka Experience. Mo jilo archer wali lada kana ka kajojo credit bureau yo ko report kana urgent emarong war ekyamal ngai wat T-Mobile emarong walo Equifax ay chalalo Experience. Ako kone kachewin che dan ay dom kana me rejwalo report kana Experience. Yung ligdilo latane me an experience kwenten senodi other region agent but lewajo ekyamal kan melalani lugonay lewaj
Credit system.
Facts, guys. And the addresses, just so you guys know, is found on, I believe, on module 4. So basically what happens, this is the first letter, right? You're going to do the same, repeat it on the other letters that are sent directly to the credit bureaus, okay? Minus the items that get removed, right? Because it's already been removed. You don't need to dispute that item anymore. Now, when you come down here with the print your name here, you just type your name in that section, in both sections that has your name goes here. Okay, let's keep it simple. Don't overthink it, because you know, human nature, we always overthink things, but it is really this simple. Okay, everything below the state and state of, county of, minus the red section where your name goes, the notary fills that information out. Okay, the modules state that it's not required to get it notarized. However, the credit bureaus take it more seriously. So don't half-ass things, guys. Go that extra mile. You can go to a bank, it's free. I think there's a couple banks that do charge. I think it's Bank of America, and there's another one I can't think of off top of my head. But you typically, you know, because of the pandemic, you have to schedule an appointment anyway. Just ask them, hey, do you have a notary? Is it going to cost me? Voila, there you go. Keep it simple. Don't overthink things, guys.
okay padane kumai lo jana chicken notarize rame komarong talam notarize latane lo pengane ami kachidu bar notarize nodanan karane ba chichabai which notarize chalak notarize im chenauti latake rajilugun series tongan git credit bureau gane unire ba chen notarize latake emole chakane me gumi lo er cheder me puror choko cheni kani gane.
Okay, so this next part, what I'm about to say, I need you to write this down. It's very important because I get this in the credit support group chats all the time. Oh, I forgot to do this. Okay, so let's say you mailed out your first round of letters. Okay, you got the certified, your returned receipt back, your certified mail receipt, the tracking number says it was confirmed, but you are going on 30 days. I haven't received anything, right? So you're going to want to send the 30-day no response letter. That is found on module 8, okay? The 30-day no response letter requires the following: a copy of the notarized round one letter is you're going to need a copy of the returned receipt with the stamp on it. Okay, you're going to need a copy of the certified mail receipt to include in that. And then everything that you had on that dispute letter that you were challenging, you would put at the very bottom. If you can scroll down, because you see where it says creditor agency count number, you would list every single item down there. Okay, and then you would sign it, date it, and then put your name, type it out, your social, and then attachments included. Okay, though this is very imperative that you have those items. Otherwise, you cannot use this 30-day no response letter, because by law, if they do not respond to you in that 30 days, then they have to remove everything.
Okay, ladane lichonay kananagan ladane me chilungul ran no response. Ngay ko channel di ladane kone jay within come certified mail ilo post ovi cup come no the right end. Mo ilo am come paper ne ko kone jay within come cabin all of me ligdilo file kana follow up ilo tracking tracking and then tracking me equal ke me receive ladane ako kone pun rane me receive dispute ladane me number jon em kone pun ngayong chilungu rana receive response ngwe ako ladayo na kone jidongane ilo maju radi dak imla mo kone jay uji copy certified mail te de war mail la menane yem all even negative ay to magan me ko dispute ilo ladayo me number jon ngone ja tashi ilo menne ilo ladane yemla mo senaudi mo karanga lock and gara gara response ngan ko you mun jilu ran jay we remove all menagane me kwar chigi ilo kadan ilo dispute ladane number jon ko winin ladane ko melene me karani kuno ga.
That's the law. So you're really shooting yourself in the foot.
I want to touch on it.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
you
you're
can hear me?
up a little bit.
Oh man, how about now?
You're good.
You can. Okay, yeah, I think I got a warning saying my internet is unstable, so hopefully it's good now. I want to touch on this very quickly. Guys, pretty much this is a guaranteed removal here. So if they take if it's been 30 days since your receipt day says they got it and they haven't responded, you have to make sure that you follow this process, because now it turned from we have to review it. It is multiple steps to get removed to now it's a guaranteed removal. But like Bonnie said, you have to make sure that you have all the information available, like everything, and you include it in this letter, right? And very quickly, if you guys are getting value so far, I want everybody to heart this right now. And I want everyone to show Bonnie some love. I want her to feel you guys' energy. So drop some fire emojis down below if you're getting value from this training. And that's all I wanted to say. Throw the floor back to you, Bonnie.
Yeah, absolutely. So once you do this, they are required to remove those items. Now, say for example, you don't have this information because you forgot to make a photocopy. Don't knee jerk, don't freak out. Just go to round 2. Okay, that's why I said you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot because you forgot that step, but it's okay. Just move to round 2. Okay, let me give you the dates that you need to make sure that you're promptly sending things out, because if you don't, it decreases your percentage on getting those items removed. Okay, so again, let's be proactive. Let's do our due diligence in making sure everything is sent out when it's supposed to. Okay, The time frame.
Okay, मैंने ले चाहने तो चेगी किया, लेकिन आने को मैंने कब screenshot है, नहीं मुझे चेगी वाले में time frame का ना कच्चू जो लगा, कोई मियाँ screenshot है लो, तालबोन का नाम मियाँ हम CV.
Frames, the credit dispute letter, there's a 30-day wait. Granted, because of the pandemic, they do have it 30 to 45 days, but if you do not get a response within that 30 days, go ahead and send that 30-day no response letter out, okay? The 30-day no response is 30 days. The credit dispute letter 2 is 30 days. Again, that's sent to the credit bureaus. The credit dispute letter 3, that is sent to the creditors. Okay, and we'll pull that up just so you guys can have a visual here in a few minutes. That is 15 days. And again, that is sent to the creditors. Okay, credit dispute letter 4 is round 3 to the credit bureaus. So it gets a little confusing and a lot of people get frustrated when it comes to these steps. It's 15 days. Letter 5 is round 4 to the credit bureaus. It's also 15 days, okay? Do you want to go ahead and show them what the letter to the creditors look like, just so that they have a visual?
But before we do that, very quickly, everybody, I want everyone, let me just finish here. Oh my goodness, I'm having complications. I want everybody to screenshot this, but not yet, not yet. That way they can have this information and they don't forget. Screenshot these time frames right now. Just, screenshot them on your phone so you have access to them and you can see the breakdown of all the different letters. Again, letter 1, 2, 4.
Okay, screenshot है मैंने कहा लो frame में पिजाने.
Five sent to the credit bureaus, right? Letter 3 is sent to the creditors. So for example, if you're disputing a Wells Fargo credit card, letter 3 is sent to Wells Fargo. And now you said, told me to go where?
Go to letter 3 for the creditors, just so that they can see how different it looks.
Okay, so I'm here, letter 3.
So it's called a 623 letter, guys. And this, basically the purpose of putting this in between all of the letters is because we're going to catch the credit bureaus in a lie, right? Because, we asked for verification of how they validated that it was your debt, right? Well, they didn't provide that to you. They just sent you a generalized credit report. That's not validation, okay? What, per the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1970, it states in there, okay, which this is, you have access in your back office to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Feel free to skim it, and you'll see that it states that they have to provide some type of application or binding contract with your signature or date on it. Otherwise, that is not proper verification or validation. But it has to have your signature and date on it, guys. So as you can look, it is very different. You're going to be sending this, of course, individually, right? Because it is to the creditor. So say you don't know what the creditor's address is, just Google it. It's simple as that. The red section, you put your personal information, the original creditor's information, and then what type of an account it is. If it's a charge-off, put charge-off. If it was a repo, put repo. If it was a bankruptcy, well, bankruptcies are different. You would not actually send this letter to the courts. You would not send this letter for a bankruptcy. But student loans, a repo, collections, charge-offs, things like that, you would use for this.
Okay, latanege ejangan creditor credit bureau company gan chulu me Equifax TransUnion cup experience. Aga creditor ge nge example nge ba T-Mobile repo chen me kogar muriye ego registered creditor jakane me kumriye bajila tanege yulamne chene la ke kenege chedi ne re kachu lela repo ge nara recep batan recep lukun kamole ge chagar sainu mirginu dum ji ladane ge ne jatal ngani rum kami jagar ren kwalak yewi chinme chagar saini no de kemal char saini ba ge har muri ne menagana imi ladane ge re kajemun faidilo waywen ne nganai ratan kambana boy credit ran kwalak puru pe nge chalak puru im rache meran kwalak puru gan muri kana agor ne jago jina remove item kan agent report na wala tane me chilu kono gaga gi.
If it's a closed account and because you paid it off and you closed it, guess what? You would want to, even though it shows as a zero balance, you will want to still remove that because it still resets that statute of limitation for 7 years, guys, and it's still going to hurt your credit, even though you paid it off.
Umay ge wrong melele ne magudanya naren kalagi muri kanaren ke aganan boy jen kajar bal dispute la tane be ngene ge chala kalagi muri ga em chechep kajar bal la tane me wa engane la tane bar pello system naren la tane ge question elangan kumi kan magudanya nam common kalai ngeni clear kalenam run remove ya item ne jen jenatan background nam emun eleng yar ngayo juan igar kalagi muri chunya muri ko malamit e zero balance aga kanagan ngakal labane menangane muri wa e pero dilo dan background yana image effective what jaron ngai image kalagi zero balance akan ngai pelo report na e effective what credit ginarum katabaran labane ngai berin remove ya oleven ayadom gane me very low background ginar o melele karani lo melele quality.
Okay, and then you just put your name in there, and then you don't have to get this one notarized because again, it's sent to the creditor and then you mail it out. Okay, simple as 1, 2, 3. Now, when you have like a judgment, a court order, garnishment, guys, I just want to be completely transparent. You would still be responsible for the debt. However, if you're not experiencing or having any of those attached to that specific item, the debt is going to be permanently removed as well. Okay, so that means you are no longer responsible for that debt. And no, it's not going to come back because it's permanently removed.
Hey, Bonnie, I have a question before we keep moving forward. So let's say in this scenario, right? Like, let's go back to letter 1. So they say letter 1, debt validation letter. And this is very typical, right? They send letter 1 and they get a response. And the response is,
okay, kumai gello ijagane mi ba Wells Fargo of student loans ga medical ako rajana dan menangane creditor chene ilang mi ba credit bureau me TransUnion menangane ako credit bureau gore angai muri kana me ilo ekyamono kumai ilo rajana creditor
a copy of their credit report saying that they verified the information. Like a lot of people, when this happens, they think, you know, oh, they verified it, I shouldn't keep moving forward. Now, I want you to kind of elaborate why they should still continue to send letter 2 and, you know, why that's normal.
Why you need to send letter 2 is because it's asking for the proper steps on, okay, you say that this is verified, that is my debt. I want the process, I want the name, I want all of this information provided to me, and by law, they have to provide that information.
Correct. And this is very important, guys. Like a lot of the times when you send letter 1, you're going to get a typical response, and that should not discourage you. I mean, as a matter of fact, that's what we expect, because then now it opens the door to asking, well, how do you verify it? Because, you know, the FCRA credit law, it has very specific requirements on how they're supposed to verify your information. And this is where you're able to catch them in a lie. And this is why these items can get removed.
Exactly.
Okay, enotan charakane ba ngai ko jene audi latane kin kajuan em rane lewa response ba o amuri ga ki latana barogi ilo amle chene ba ge e kajide ge bir maran per bai gi ren kwal gyane ragar book report gane emol ge minigin e binga raban wal nga kan report gane ka raban kamoli ge rane jay wi remove all even ayadam gane ngai rubu tawjina muri enot karane me kanan rubu jima tawjin murian ar kajar bal ladane malamit wai bodi rubu jima tawjin ar jab kalagi jon chen nganjir.
I don't know if you want to touch very quickly on letter 2 before we move on.
Yeah, letter 2, I mean, you're just filling out the red portions, and your whatever has not been removed, then you just put it, you do the same thing like you did on round 1. You fill in the items that haven't been removed yet. You type in your name where the red section is, and then for the both sections, and then again, you go to a bank, get it notarized, everything under the state of, county of, gets filled out by the notary.
All right, awesome.
Okay, melele kan erane kanan kagi ge eno ene jarin melele ko irak kanan ngam chakanan kabu jara gijin nganar wo judo kom lale ta ko me ngai war kajida gi gichen chabarot kaine me ko nan melele kagi gichen company ko komro le to lo chat ngai ko chep konan kwala ga ni gim ako konan kwala ga ni gim an medium lamuj gi le dom kajeni kachingin ci bangro ni lo chabarot kajida angan romer chem melele kan maikan euro ilam join maikan euro option ko jito kage elang rejido kon air kachio ko man credit ganer e muner ga sign up kan 995 ran relang edo credit system ne e option yo join ko nan kam money lo online ko je gu ya ga product kai ngan when all of Rome Raja Guji product in example, Army Raname Raguji credit system money, or Jonan product, Yoran Kajuju product in link, which copy paging Mama Jenny Longan, Chabaro de Me Raja Guji product on it, or travel product, Mani Kajun, Kuala travel on ever Kajang and Lali. Kumai lo screen aring main screen aring website aring BMC
Man. It won't clear.
Okay, product quarry kijong perilo my store. Aga store. Mga wanit kalagi store. Kung yu jangan my e-com product. Majority ni product quarry ngan kay na meraganan common money lo online. Kaya wiya kaga ID defender, travel membership na, roadside assistant, hand sanitizer, nutrition health, COVID na, cash flow manager, credit system na. Which mean a car wiya kaga main point o may kana chuta kaga credit system na. Mineo kaya wiya kaga parang ni travel membership na. Mga rome red lamlagin company money at the same time red katyong fix their credit lo company. Ako option again rebel langan ko ilam gar sign up kan 995. 995 promotion man ragar 8 pagjigan all biyo lo kuri mo jam new year. Ngay eja malakay lo wigin ene rolangan regular price yo me 39.95. Amay ilang kain wawin ko kumarong promote company which kualo ko ngan ranay me raja guji product kain lelag link kanan kachuju product ilo ijanay me quick type ngay pa internet wala jemi ji google type ngay ni chibere travel membership wala gatan link nan travel membership lo ije I need copy page you copy ngay yu jangan messenger kana milo talbo na ilo messenger ini page you aja kan travel membership name chene wat hey nani yolo pur nani hey doctor to cholo pur all engane wawin common money lo online ngaromere ka common money credit card video kana ilo maju kana raja nga kumya kan 1 2 18 chap skibi ilo maju ro ene kachito ba kon netan pula ba report kana em kachungun pula ba report kana am jen credit bureau kana jilu Equifax TransUnion ka experience ngone to ngal la kana iyo kone adjust la kana ngan akarangan chongan ayam kan ilo kachujo credit bureau kana ligudi maju lemen leta ko kan ilo ijane maju rally tak kuala wawinam talangan post office certify malamu notarize leta kan ene charin pokchiri gilo alamala lali minigi naga ene jalak tola kami review ki video kan ene komen ela release tangan video me ngai kajoge komen oh ejino bi make sense malamu piro ro lagar chalagan minigi Amoy kaya jito nganjin ba kaya yakata ano nga kaya yurujugulum rory kader gan pilija kilo mena kan e romi relgun remelagan tagin mi rene promote amoy buko taji nar wiya ka kay product in me je jatan wiya ka kay ko je gu chala tagan ko pangan armit chip kanano ba o ko gu wi mi ne brala ba ko giata ko jaji ta kon ba ni na ro ba kon review gi mena kan melamit look ya kata Weman ngay war kajito kam kochip kanan kuala kay ni kem ako ligdi lo chat melamit ngai ni review gi melamit kaya ni wak aga chemelologun kaji me W9 form manam ka direct to boy jane e jangan all money transfer jen all about sales ngay oram sales W9 you know kana ga run business kamenim ga kana ga kala tax ako gunin W9 ne ka direct to budget form ne we jilo jingin jarabal receive W4 ne we jang dalam file ajuri rani aga kajeng be run business jeni receive W9 form we W9 form ga eu kita kajian W4 form ne minimum ni W9 form ga komarong atan claimi example ngai ba talboni ni ngai on ka gilo online ni atan kono kan mai kan kana ga business related ai marong kanani benar business me chibang kam tax ma o ngai claimi talboni igar kajar bola oli bini yo Kuna ini cara balik bim lewat jatan credit kan money kan yang am cara balik talbon parta pemerong kelimi mile jangan am aku kan baju bawang itu dengan tahun-tahun itu cutakan banner ya kuni kelimi mile jangan am kuni kelimi aku kan baju bawang itu dengan restoran yung mga event juana customer akan join cover kelimi mga akan bar business related claiming mine ne kwara tal jil with me name ba cash flow manager me ne name ko keep record ga girum chedagin men rane charin bolin kai lu ke jaga option gin repella ngai jakana lu kun chala ga gim ka chimun review ole ben me kan ilo back office ne wa man stand by ngai war ka jida ga jabaro da kanan pa jabaro one malam itu jauh bijak coba lagi. Matan cungor rali itu kareng minit, jam lak cuma naring.